Hello and welcome back for another awesome episode of the FIT40 Podcast. Getting this one in late. Okay, this is not what I'm used to, so I apologize if I'm a little scatterbrained. I got my notes right here, so we should be a-okay. Before we get into it, just know that today the podcast is dropping. That is November 22nd. So this is the official start of the FIT40 Black Friday special. So if you want a whopping 25% off of the FIT40 Kickstart, the initial 12-week program of the FIT40 program, then you can take advantage of that from today all the way through midnight of actual Black Friday. Now, enough of that. Let's get on with the show. Today, because you're about to be inundated with a bunch of Black Friday deals from fitness professionals, nutrition professionals, I just want to give you guys the tools to have so you know exactly how to find yourself a quality person to work with. Okay, it doesn't even have to be me. I just want to make sure that everybody listening has some basic things to look for so that way, if you are considering a coach, that you end up in the right hands. You don't end up being one of these people spending four, five, six, $700, maybe even $1,000 a month for somebody who's barely going to speak to you, who gives you cookie cutter crap. And the only support you get is when you submit your check-in, you get a text that says, good job. Okay. Unfortunately, there are people out there like that. So hopefully these tips are going to help you so that you don't end up with one of them and you get yourself somebody who's going to give you the support that you need, the information you need, and hopefully change your life for the better. All right, so let's kick it off. I want to start this off by saying that there's a saying in the fitness space, in the nutrition space, that any idiot can get somebody to sweat, to go through a workout, to burn body fat, to build muscle, because it's really not that complicated. It's eat X amount of calories or less, and it's workout X amount of times, and you're going to get that result. The real key is to find somebody that makes it enjoyable, that makes it something that you actually want to keep showing up for, and creates a new lifestyle. It's not something that you put up with just to get a result. So that should be priority number one, is how do I actually work with somebody who's going to make this a enjoyable lifestyle change for me, so that way I don't need them in the future. Okay, that's a big one too. I mean, I know I haven't specifically gotten into them yet, but if somebody just expects you to stick with them forever and they're never going to give you the tools to do it on your own, that's a big red flag. But let's talk green flags. So one being basically what you're doing right now. Listen to their podcast, read their blog, get on their email list, because the people that know their stuff feel comfortable enough to do long form content, because long form content will tell you pretty much if somebody knows their shit or they don't. Because if you can't talk about certain subjects at length, you just don't know that much about it. And when it comes to the depth of knowledge that you need to help somebody change their life, you need to know a lot of stuff about certain topics and know how to troubleshoot. And it's a really good way to know that you're in good hands. So take advantage of all their free stuff first. Get their long form content. Like if they have a guide or something like an ebook, download it, like if it's a free one, and just absorb that stuff and see if it lines up with one, what you're looking for, and two, if it's like what you actually enjoy hearing, if it's in a good tone and you feel like you're going to vibe with this person. That's the other thing too. You want to make sure, is this somebody, they call it in customer service, at least where I was taught, the beer test. Ask yourself, based on you listening to them and absorbing their content, would I have a beer with this person? Would I have a glass of wine with this person? Would they actually be somewhat enjoyable because they're a decent human? Okay, that, as sad as that is to say, is like a bear, like a standard, that is one of the things that will make a very big difference in your results, because the relationship that you have with your coach is a very, very good indicator of how well that you're going to do. Because if I'm saying the same thing as somebody else, but they're saying it in a way that you absolutely love, or then I wouldn't be the right person in that situation. Or vice versa. Say it's somebody else saying all these things, but I'm saying it in a different way, and you're like, oh, I kind of gravitate more towards the way he says it, then you're probably going to have better success with me in that case. So pick the person that you feel like you vibe with. Um, the next thing is, when it comes to how they speak, they usually don't speak in absolutes. Like you'll catch me saying all the time, most of the time, usually, like these words that leave room for outliers, that leave room for people that will break the mold because people always do. And when you work with enough people over the years, there's always people that break the rules. So if they are so dead set in their beliefs that they think this applies to everybody every single time, then they just really haven't worked with that many people, or they have disregarded people that don't fit into their mold. So it's not somebody that will give you the best unbiased service that you deserve for the money that you're going to spend. And they also, another really big green flag is that they are comfortable saying, I don't know. Okay. They are very humble. They have a level of humility to say, you know what? I don't know everything. I do my best to educate myself, but I just don't know it all. And that's okay. I'm gonna and then they follow it up with, but I'm going to learn what I need to learn to help you. I can't even tell you how many times I've done that where somebody is a client of mine or they're just asking me a question and they ask me something and I'll either one, just say, yeah, I really have no idea. And I'm going to go look at it right now and find out. Or before responding, I'll just like do a deep dive and be like, okay, I got to like learn this stuff now. Okay. So being able to have somebody that's not just going to feed you a line of crap and actually get you the information that you deserve, that's a very, very big one as well. What else is on this list? They work with people like you. That's one of those things that a lot of influencers will do where they'll say they pretty much work with everybody, but when you get their cookie cutter program, it's pretty much made for a 20-year-old who's got all the time in the world, who can do 6 days in the gym, who can eat perfectly, doesn't have kids, doesn't have all the life stressors that you have, and they just expect you to get it done. And when you can't, it perplexes them. They just call you lazy and say, "Oh, it's your fault. You can't do this. You don't really want it that bad." When in reality, they just don't know how to make a program that's catered to you and your lifestyle. Because no matter how busy you are, there's always a way to get it done. Like for example, the FIT40 clients, a lot of them jump on the FIT20 program, which is my 20-minute version that they do 3 times a week, whereas if I forced them to do an hour-long workout with all these perfect programming principles, they just would fail because they'd never be able to actually complete it or do it enough where it would make a big enough difference. So you need somebody who's experienced in that way where they can break the rules enough where it's still effective and it fits into your lifestyle and you get the best results that you're capable of given the situation. Next one is testimonials. If their profile is just loaded beyond belief with only pictures of themselves and no clients saying this, I achieved this with them, this with them. There's no testimonial of any kind, and I won't put a ton of emphasis on before and after pictures because it's so easy to just go on Google and steal before and after pictures, as sad as that is. Some people do that. So I wouldn't put a lot of weight on the what's it called, on the before and after picture. But if they have testimonial podcasts, like I'm sure you guys have caught a couple on here, like the latest ones with Samantha and Tanya and Kristen and Kem back in the day, Jillian, like I've had those people who were clients and who still are clients on the podcast sharing their experiences. That's like top tier because you know this is actually a real person and they didn't just make up a blurb. But if you have a friend or something that gives you a testimonial and says this person's awesome, then go with that. Like if you have somebody to tell you, hey, this is legit, I love working with them, they're positive, they give me the support that I need, then that's all you really need right there is somebody's glowing review because it's personal. You know it's not BS. You know it's not just some copy and paste crap or something that they fabricated. And yeah, those are like the big ones to really look for. But that being said, if you are listening to this podcast and you've been on board and you're like, I want to do this, I just don't really know what he does in particular, then I'll just let you know how we do it at the FIT40 program. And if you're between programs and you're thinking about it, I'll just lay it all out there for you. And if I do something that you like, and you're considering somebody else, just make sure that they have it too. So that way you know that you're getting the features that you actually need. So the FIT40 program, there's 3 big things. Number one is it's really simple nutrition. Now, when it comes to the nutrition side of things, I run what's called a PFC system, and that is basically a system that teaches you how to incorporate protein, fiber, and color in every single meal. And the reason that we do that is because when you're in certain situations where you can't track everything perfectly, or if you're a total beginner and tracking is just too much, this is the perfect place to start. And for some, it's the perfect place to operate for their entire journey. So being able to master the skills of where do I get these sources, regardless of the situation, whether you're at a kid's soccer game and you're on the road and you got to grab something quick, or you're at a wedding, or you're at a business meeting and they're ordering in food and you have no idea what to do. Okay, this is a system that teaches you exactly how to operate in those situations so you can still reach your goals and do it in a way that's not as stressful as tracking every little thing. But that being said, it's the perfect launch pad for being able to track and do it well compared to just jumping into tracking with having no food skills whatsoever. So if you do want to go that route, that is an option as far as the nutrition is concerned. But if you don't want to go the calorie counting route, it's totally fine. This works both ways. Okay. Then when it comes to the workout side of things, you can do whatever your workouts are. Like if you're a member of a gym and you go to, say, Orange Theory, for example, you keep doing those. Or if you have an in-person trainer, you can do this in conjunction with that if you want to. That's totally fine. But if you don't have those, then there's workouts that are provided. So there's full on like 6 month pre-programmed programs in there that are flexible enough so you can customize it. They have options based on equipment, based on whatever you have access to. And the reason that they're programs and I don't just spoon feed you like just do this program is because I teach you along the way exactly how to modify it for your particular situation. Because with the FIT40 program, I know it's just a stop in your health journey. It's not this forever program. Now, if you want to, you can always stick around. I'm very happy to have you. But at the same time, I always come at it with the scope of if you're not going to be with me forever, I want to make sure that you are set past this program to excel at whatever that you do. So when it comes to the workout programs, I teach you how to switch things up given your situation. Because if you jump on another program after and you're like, ooh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Oh, crap, I just wasted all this money. But if you actually learn what to do for yourself during this program, you could say, okay, this program that I just bought, maybe it's not perfect, but because I worked with FIT40, I know I could just do this instead of this, or I could do that instead of this. And you can get amazing results and not waste your money going forward. And then last but not least is a support component. This is the one thing that I pride myself on a lot for exactly what I mentioned in the very beginning, because there's a lot of people out there charging a shitload of money that you can never get in contact with. You barely hear from them. Meanwhile, at FIT40, we do things differently. Okay. If you text in the app, we use EverFit. It's an awesome app. It's a lot of fun. It's really simple to use. But in that app, there's a messenger. And if you message me something, you will get an answer in less than 24 hours. And most clients will tell you that if you get me at the right time, you will literally get an answer in seconds or minutes. Okay. More likely than not, if you send me a message, you're going to get an answer within the hour. And I pride myself on that. So I can tell you right now, your questions will be answered promptly. And on top of that, you have weekly call availability. So if you're having the week from hell, you can tell me, hey, this is a rough week. Can we just hop on the phone and talk about it and figure some stuff out? And I'm always happy to. There's always time in my schedule for you to do that. And there's also set calls. So that way, you and me are always evaluating your goals, reevaluating your goals, and seeing how the plan's going. So that way, you're not just off on your own little island trying to do it all yourself. There's actually somebody coaching you throughout the entire thing. So that's the way we do it at FIT40. If you want to check it out and you want to take advantage of the Black Friday deal, the link is down in the show notes, in the description, wherever you're watching or listening. And you could give that a click and you could apply, and we'll get on the phone and we'll talk and see if it's a good fit for you. Okay. So just know if you do apply and sign up for the call, it's no obligation. If for some reason it's not the perfect fit for you, it's totally fine. I'll send you on your way with plenty of really good resources. And if I know somebody who's better for your specific situation, I'll refer you to them. But if it is that perfect fit and you're like, listen, this is exactly what I need, and you are good to go, then we can get you in and going ASAP and get a ton of money off in the process. So, like I said, if you're interested, go ahead, give it a click, check it out, and hopefully I will talk to you soon. But otherwise, I hope everybody listening has a great rest of their day, and I will see you all next week for more podcast episodes. But until then, go kick some ass. See you later.